How can you share your ideas with others without worrying about what they'll say or what they'll think of you? Stick around for today's show to find out. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this topic lately because, frankly, I care way too much about what others think of me. Now, please understand me. It is important to care about others and their feedback because they have good things to say. And when they bring up feedback regarding things I need to change, I need to be opening to listening to that because I wouldn't be anywhere without the feedback and input of others. And I think that's true of all of us. Even if we've had discouragement in our lives and other people who don't understand us, we all need other people to exist, and other people have helped us to become who we are. Now, that said, we as INFJs tend to worry too much about what other people say and think. So why is that the case? In short, we're all social beings, all people, even us INFJ introverts. And as a result, our identity is formed from what other people reflect back to us. We take the feedback from others and we form an identity, hopefully one that isn't shifting, one that's solid and steady, and that others can expect from us and that we can expect from ourselves. And that forms a bit of a comfort zone. The challenge in that is that it can be hard to find other people like us because culture doesn't hold up INFJs as the example for others to follow. We tend to be a bit different, at least than what culture espouses. So being a less common type, it can be easy to feel kind of odd and out of place and difficult to find a reflection of yourself in the world, one that others accept and one that you feel is normal and acceptable and worth pursuing. I think that certainly contributes to the hunger to be accepted and appreciated and affirmed by others and to feel that your identity is valid. Add to it all the fact that our way of relating to the outside world is extroverted feeling and causes us to desire harmony and affirmation from other people. We desire to hear positive things back and to make and maintain harmonious relationships with other people. So we go to great ends to build those positive connections. And we fear doing anything that might mess up relationships with others and put others on edge. Compounding things is the fact that we tend to be highly sensitive people. And even if you haven't spent a lot of time researching high sensitivity, let me just explain it this way. We pick up on more stimuli than the average person. We're tuned into people's mannerisms, their body language, the nuance of what they say, and we pay attention to things that many other people overlook. So that sort of attention requires more energy from us and makes us highly sensitive, which can be a great gift. It can allow us to be sensitive and empathetic to hurting people, which is something this world needs. But it comes at a price. It makes us super easy targets for anyone who might misunderstand or trample on us or give us feedback on our ideas, for example, or our thoughts that leaves us feeling crushed or hurt at worst and de-energized and drained at best. Joel Mark Witt, a personality hacker, did a great job explaining this in an analogy. He described a super sensitive scale where it can measure tiny grains of sand or parts of grains of sand and had the ability to be very accurate with little details that another type of scale might overlook. That's kind of how we as INFJs work. We're tuned into nuance that other personality types might miss out on, just like other personality types are tuned into things that we miss out on, aka the details a lot of times. But we can pick up on those little things that other people miss, and that is a great thing, as I mentioned already. But the challenge is when you get people who don't understand or realize that's the way we operate coming into our lives and offering feedback. It's kind of like someone jumping on the scale or pounding a highly sensitive instrument. It's not going to be good. It's going to do a lot of damage. And that's the way negative feedback or even brusque interactions can come off when we're interacting with other people who aren't super sensitive to our sensitivity. This sensitivity, in my opinion, is a big reason why we tend to need more sleep and take a longer time to recover. To preserve the harmony, protect ourselves, and maintain our identities, we often keep to ourselves more, take fewer risks, and we don't really share what we're thinking as much because we know the potential hurt that could come as a result of it. While that keeps us safe, it also is fertile ground for bitterness to grow because we're not really sharing our true selves and we desire to be appreciated for who we are, or at least to live in an authentic way that is true to who we really are and what we really believe. I think every person wants to live and act in harmony with their inner self in the outer world. We need that balance in life, and we feel frustrated when we have to pretend too much to be who we are not. It's just not a healthy thing. Considering all that we've talked about so far, let's get back to the original question. How can we share with other people without worrying about what they'll say or think about us? How can we step out in confidence and share ideas with others? I have a few suggestions for you. You can remember the suggestions with the mnemonic SEAT. Each of the letters stands for something. I probably should have made it something like ACT since we want to take action, but these are the letters that work. So here we go. First, shift the focus off yourself, which none of us can do completely in and of ourselves. But try to shift the focus onto other people and thinking about how your new idea or what you have to say could serve them and help them grow. When you're focusing on how other people will respond to you or what they're thinking about you or what they might say, it's really easy to get stuck and to focus on protecting yourself. But when you focus on helping others grow and change, even when initially they may not accept what you have to say, it can move you to take action and to have more courage to make a move and to share the thoughts that you have in your head. It's just a matter of looking at the challenge in a new light. Next, ensure the idea is one worth sharing. If you're like me, you have a lot of ideas, but some of the ideas or opinions that you want to share are really important to you. They're a bit of a soapbox and something that you think could really help others. So find the ones that are deeply meaningful to you and that also are important to your core beliefs, and then decide they're worth sharing. Don't share the small ones because we all know that it's going to take energy to put your ideas out there, especially when others might not accept them, or at least everybody won't accept them, or there's the possibility they may be rejected. So choose carefully which ones you want to share, knowing that there's going to be an emotional cost and an energy cost for you in putting them out there. Third, appreciate the contributions, experience, and expertise of the people you work with. When you start by affirming the good things that the other people around you contribute, it opens the door for your ideas and changes the mood so that you're not saying, or other people don't perceive you to be saying, my idea is the best and your ideas aren't valuable. Affirmation helps others listen, and it builds up the relationship and allows others to think in new ways. And I should say that's probably going to come second nature to you because diplomacy, as Kiersey affirms, and please understand me too, is a skill that comes natural to most NF types, and I would say is definitely something that you are probably good at as an INFJ. Finally, tell other people about your idea or opinion. Put yourself out there and share it. Remember, you have good things to say too, even if what you have to say isn't typical and what other people are used to hearing. In fact, the fact that you're bringing a different perspective makes it all the more valuable, even if people don't accept it right off the bat. So remember, SEAT, shift the focus off of yourself, ensure the idea is worth sharing, affirm others and what they contribute, and then go ahead and tell other people what you have been thinking about or the idea that you have to share. In the event that other people reject your idea or they don't accept it, I have a few suggestions to keep you going. And the first is just to realize that some of your ideas are going to be overlooked. And that, unfortunately, is just the way it is. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't share, because as you share, you're going to get more bold and you're going to realize that other people may accept some of your ideas. And it's really important that you put them out there. So keep sharing. The more you share, the more likely it is that one of them will be accepted, especially as you learn from the feedback and determine which kinds of things you're sharing are helpful to others and they're open to learning about from you. Additionally, whenever you can, demonstrate the value of the idea or principle that you have to share. Can you put it to work in your own workflow and then invite other people in to let them watch it? Sometimes the people we work with, who tend to be censors, since censors make up most of the population of the world, need experience. They need hands-on experience. They need to see what you're doing. They want to experience how it's changing your workflow before they'll adopt it, because they tend to find proven ways that have worked for a long time. And then they go ahead and learn those proven ways of doing things because they know they're safe and that they work. And if you can demonstrate, if you can remove a lot of the risk for other people, it opens them up to some of your ideas. So remember that sometimes other people just need to see it, and you can be the person to demonstrate it for them. Another way to spin the challenge of sharing ideas is, instead of trying to get everybody on board, try to convince a few people at first. This can be super helpful for a number of reasons. First of all, it gives you a small victory. Maybe you're not going to change the complete organization, but you can just change the lives of a few of your coworkers or a few of the people that you interact with on a regular basis. And that can be really satisfying. I work as a teacher, and I found a free grading software that saves me tons of time. I have the kids bubble in answer keys, and then with this software, I can hold up their answers in front of my computer, and it automatically scores the quiz or test that I've given and saves me a ton of time. I shared this with several teachers, and not all of them bought it, but 5 or 6 of them did, and the program is still saving them a lot of time. So to know that a few people's lives are made better made the sharing worth it. The other benefit of having a small group test your idea is that other people who work with those people get to see it in action, and then they may buy in. That's how things tend to spread. At least that's what I learned from Seth Godin, the author of Purple Cow. A few people will pick up on the idea, people who tend to like new ideas, and then they'll share it with other people who are earlier adopters, and then finally the later adopters will come in last. So everybody doesn't necessarily buy into an idea right away. It tends to take time. And if you start with a small group, that can be helpful in moving the idea forward. Last but not least, don't forget that you are valuable no matter what other people say of you. While we get our identity to some extent from what other people say, ultimately, you are valuable in and of yourself, regardless of what anybody says about you. So keep that in mind whenever other people reject what you have to share, or you may feel like they're looking down on your opinion or perspective. You have good things to share, and this world needs to hear them. So keep speaking. If you'd like to learn more about your INFJ personality, I'd love to give you a free copy of my book, The INFJ Personality Guide. The book will teach you about the mindsets and motivations that cause you to do what you do. It'll also explain some common INFJ challenges and solutions to those challenges. I wrote the book to help you understand that you're not messed up or broken, but just different. You can get the book one of 2 ways. First, text the letters INFJ to the number 444999, or visit ispeakpeople.com/INFJ-personality-guide, and you can get a free copy there. You'll find that link in the description below this video. Well, thanks so much for watching the show. I hope that you found it helpful. If this is your first time on the channel, it's great to have you here. I'd encourage you to subscribe. There are new tips and insights into the INFJ personality each and every week. So I'd love to have you be a part of this community. And if you're a regular subscriber, thanks for being awesome. I love connecting with you this way and really appreciate you. Thanks for encouraging me to keep putting this content out there. Looking forward to seeing you on the next show.